And I've always known that because I did a bit of research when I first started the podcast, and everyone told me, number one, make sure you get past the 5th or 6th episode, because most people drop out at that point. And then after that, it's just about regularity. Doesn't matter what you're doing. I know people with podcasts that get millions of views, and they were flatlining for years. And then it just takes something, or one thing, or a bit of luck, or the industry you're in has a lot of interest or something. And then as long as you're a good podcast, but if you get to 100 episodes, you're probably okay. You know,
there are two things. The one part is just in terms of the conversation has to be something interesting and worthwhile or natural also to listen to. And the other is, I guess, the algorithms. I mean, I've noticed... I think there's a chance that on Twitter you could, or on X you can also host a podcast now, or if you just put in the extra effort to pull out interesting parts of the podcast and post them as clips, that's the other part where it probably takes off. But I felt now that after 2 years, I think we're getting into a better, more natural flow, getting more interesting conversations out of it. So yeah, that just takes time. I mean, starting off, there was a lot of nervousness as far on my part, on my co-host part, and that's slowly but surely going away. And I think the listeners are probably more interested since then. Yeah,
I think in my case, I have got so many more talking points than when I started. I can remember my first few interviews. I mean, I've done a lot of interviews in my time in my other life, but it's a very specific, Free Cities, they were a very specific subject. I'd never thought about governance. I'd never thought about special economic zones. I'd never, and I've listened back to a few of the early ones, and they were, even though I thought at the time I was doing all right, I wasn't.